Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today we're going to go over my concealed carry setup as well as my gun belt. Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for coming back, and if you're new, welcome. So today we're just going to go over my concealed carry setup, so just belt, holster, and then I'll briefly go over my mags because they're a little bit different too. This isn't going to be an EDC video where I'm going to show you 15 things that I carry in my pocket every day. It's just going to be about the holster, belt, and what I'm using, why I'm using them, why I think they're the best, and we'll go from there. After that, we'll talk about my gun belt that you guys are going to be seeing that I'm going to use for competitions, as well as just the range day videos that I'm planning on putting out here relatively soon. I know you guys were probably expecting a range day with the Glock 19. Bear with me. It snowed about 20 inches. In some areas, I think they got 30. With that being said, let's get into the rest of the video. All right, so now let's talk about my concealed carry setup. So my go-to for a belt is going to be this Tier 1 concealed EDC stretch belt. So it's going to be the same thing as the Hunter Constantine belt. It just has a different logo, as you can see, and then it has 3 loops instead of 2. This is the only difference between the Hunter Constantine belt and this. Other than that, everything's the same. So it's got the stretch in the back here, as well as a stiff spot here for your actual holster. This thing is awesome. You can't go wrong with this. Main reason is its comfort. I love how comfortable this thing is. I don't even notice when I'm carrying anymore. I don't get hindered by sitting down in a car for a long time because my holster's not going to be digging into me. I don't worry about having to bend over because it's not uncomfortable anymore. It just makes carrying every day just that much more enjoyable and less noticeable, which is the biggest thing, is just making it less of a hindrance as opposed to just something that you carry with you every day. I don't need belt loops anymore. I can just throw this on underneath the waistband of shorts or sweatpants, whatever I'm wearing for that day, and then I can just clip my holster right on, and I don't have to worry about printing or anything like that because my belt's too loose or it rides up on me. Anyway, this belt's on you, just because of this stretchy material here, it's going to hold the holster and gun tight to your body. So it actually does improve concealment, in my opinion, as well as just the ultimate creature comfort, being able to carry in my shorts and sweatpants. It just kind of makes everything a little bit more convenient at the end of the day. So that's the main reason why I recommend this to everybody and why I love it so much. All right, now the next thing in my concealed carry setup is the holster. So this holster is the Incog X, made by Safariland and Haley Strategic. So this is for the Glock 19 and 17 as for a TLR 7. So the reason I went with this, main reason, open bottom. So as you can see here, I actually have a ramjet on here, so clear. As you can see, I got a ramjet on here. I know it wasn't in the last video. I mainly did that because that's what I'm going to be shooting competitions with, as opposed to something that I can't shoot competitions with unless I want to be in open. So competitions, ramjet's coming off, but for the majority of the time, I am rocking it with a ramjet. With that being said, I needed something with an open bottom, or for a Glock 17, and I need something for a TLR 7, specifically the HLX, which is why the open bottom was enticing, because I just don't have to get something specifically cut for the HLX, which is nice. So this fits in there nice and easy. There's a little bit of protrusion of the ramjet in the light, but that's nothing that I really notice or have come to notice throughout the past year of using this setup. I thought that this would kind of be an issue, the mag caddy, because there's none of the shock cord that Tier 1 uses to kind of give it that flex. But this plastic is so thin, but it's not like overly thin where it's going to be a durability issue. It just has enough flex to kind of move with your body, which I really like about it. I started out with a Bravo concealment holster, which was like 30 bucks. And then I think I moved up to a Mission First tactical holster, which is around $80 range. They both kind of had weird little quirks and issues that I didn't really like about them. That's why I ultimately just decided to go with the more expensive option. I tried to work my way up, so if I could recommend it to you, it's just if you're really serious about wanting to carry every day, just go with something like this or a Tier 1 concealment holster. in the long run, you're going to save money, and you'll just be a lot more happy with your purchase if you go for something like that. We'll get into the last thing, which is my mags. The mags I'm rocking are just Metgar mags, as you can see right there. So these are just full metal mags, which are cool because instead of a cutout for your mag release, it's actually an impression in the metal. So what that does is actually you don't need to get a metal magazine release to use these mags. Is actually specifically advertised on the website that in all caps that you do not need a new magazine release. So that's kind of nice. Just makes it simple, especially for you guys rocking the stock magazine release. If you want metal mags that aren't going to expand like the polymer under heat, which was a common issue I was having with mine. It's kind of a hit or miss with the stock mags, but these are awesome. I'm pretty sure they get contracted out to law enforcement as well as military, so they're super reliable. I haven't had any issues, no malfunctions induced because of these, and I have definitely over 3,000 to 4,000 rounds with these things, so super good. Highly recommend them. Let's get into my gun belt. All right, so my gun belt, what I'm rocking is the Shot Concepts Usurper V1. So I got this a couple years ago. My wife actually got it for my birthday. I used to use it for work, hence the camouflage on it and stuff like that. The pouches, those were Coyote Brown. I just switched them to multicam because this is actually a multicam Tropic belt, and that's just the color that was available at the time and the size. So if you're familiar with Shot Concepts, you understand my pain of them not always having the color you want and the size you want. All right, so first things first, pistol mag pouches. So these are going to be just the S-Tac Kiwi pouches for double stack mags. So these, as you can see, just slide right in there. And if you're not familiar, they have the Kydex on the inside here, the plastic inserts, and that's kind of the whole retention system that's going to be holding the mag. So I just got 2 of those, and they're mounted at a 45-degree cant because that's how the belt comes. As you can see, this Tegris here, and then it's kind of hard to see, but if I split that apart, yep, the Molly is at a 45-degree already. Originally, I had that because I wore kit all the time and we were in vehicles, and the pistol mag pouches would actually like poke into your belly or get caught on your kit and stuff like that, and it was just kind of an uncomfortable hot spot for sitting in vehicles with all this stuff on. So this kind of alleviated that issue. Now it's just what I've trained with. It's what I'm used to, so I just kept it that way, and a lot of people are starting to rock that now anyways on their competition rigs, so just worked out for me. This is just a 5.56 pouch on here that I'm actually going to get rid of because I'm going to be switching this over to a 308 for a gun that I hope to get in the near future that I'll do a review on as well. That brings us to my dump pouch. So this dump pouch is just a roll-up dump pouch. Honestly, it was like a $15 one I got from Amazon. It does the job. It does what I need it to. You don't really need them for competitions. It's just what I'm just used to having one, so I just bought one. With that being said, it now just kind of serves other purposes. For example, just when I'm at the range, I'll just throw all my extra ammo in there or loose ammo, and then while I'm waiting for a buddy to shoot, or I'm just sitting there, it saves me a trip from going up range, grabbing a box of ammo or and punching mags up there. I can just grab ammo from the pouch and top off as needed. The most important thing that I don't see a lot of people running on specifically competition rigs is medical. So medical it's super simple to carry, and even just having the simplest of stuff like a tourniquet is super important. So as you can see, obviously I got a tourniquet here. I just attached with some shock cord that I just tied into the Molly. It's not the most practical, but it works for what it is. I should probably get like an actual sleeve for it. Eventually I will. But actually talking about the IFAC here, this is just a roll one, and it actually has an H bandage, a chest seal, 2 hemostatic gauze packages, a cravat, an MPA, gloves, and duct tape. When we're at the range, shooting guns, doing our thing, doing competitions, going there, training, doesn't matter. Accidents can happen, and you just want the stuff that will make the difference when that accident does happen. So a big thing for me is better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It does nothing to me to carry this on my belt. It's not going to affect how good I shoot in a competition to have this on my belt or not. It's not going to make, that's not going to be the difference maker. So at the end of the day, I think everyone should be carrying some type of medical equipment on them. If you can get yourself into getting all this stuff and knowing how to use it, then definitely look into this. If all you know how to, if you can only get into knowing how to use a tourniquet right now, then just bring a tourniquet for right now and then try to get into a class or something to learn how to use all this stuff as well. Let's talk about this holster. So this holster is a Safariland holster. It's a 6000 series. I'm not exactly sure which numbers it is, but I'll just throw a link in the description as well as with everything else I showed in this video. So if you guys want to look at them for yourself, you can. With that being said, what is this holster cut for and why am I showing this holster? Because everyone knows what a Safariland holster is, but I feel like there's not a lot of videos that go over the fitment of these holsters, right? So this is for a Glock 17 with a TLR2. What I like about this is that, and kind of my main goal of when I was buying an expensive holster like this was to be able to fit my 19, be able to go up a size on my pistol, and be able to go up a size on my light, which I'm able to do. So I can fit this as is in this holster, and as you can see, very minimal wiggle, and it ain't coming out. But as soon as I hit the ALS release, it comes out. So it works as intended, but I don't even have the gun that it's made for. It worked to my surprise, and I love it. So the reason why it works is because it has this little retention screw here, as you can see, and that retention screw allows you to tighten or loosen the retention. Obviously, if you have a smaller light, you have to tighten the retention to hold the light tight. And then if you go up a size, like getting a TLR1 HLX, which is what I'm looking forward to get in the future because it's got that 1500 lumen output, I'm able to do that without having to buy another $100+ holster. As well as if I was ever to go to a 17, like I talked about before, I could do that, and it fits with my ramjet and it fits without my ramjet. So it just kind of gives me that versatility, that modularity of being able to fit multiple different types of pistols in here, and that's why I went with this. All right, so that's it for my gun belt. If you guys have any questions about the gun belt or my concealed carry setup, or you guys just want to give me any recommendations on stuff that I can add to either one of these or change about them, please let me know down in the comments as well. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and come back for more. Thanks.